Good morning. Thanks for joining me on the live training this morning. I am on Rusty, and we'll talk a little bit about him in a minute. Uh, we are having beautiful weather. We actually had a cool front come through last night and cooled it down a little bit. So now our high is going to be right at 70 instead of right at 80 like it was yesterday. And I'm not sure what our low was this morning, but it was like just barely long sleeve weather. It's been really nice weather. It's been a little bit warmer than our typical, but really not all that much. Um, 40s and 60s is kind of our normal, and we've been running like 50s and right at 70. So it's beautiful weather. Great for working horses. Good weather for working horses, and they sweat, and I don't sweat too bad. So really like that. If you would put in the comments where you're watching from. I've noticed that there's been a few names come up that I don't recognize. I think we've got some new viewers, and I appreciate you tuning in and watching. And if you have any questions, put it in the comments, and we're going to do our best to answer many of them as we can get to. I have not been able to post a whole lot of videos lately because the person that records my videos broke her arm and had to have surgery, and I've had a hard time getting somebody to video. So I apologize for that. And she started back yesterday, so you'll start seeing more videos come up. She actually had to have surgery and had rods and pins and stuff put in her arm, and it wasn't horse related, nothing to do with the horses. So a little bit on this one. This is Rusty. Can't remember how old he is. I can't remember how old he is. The issue that he came in with is he's pushy. He's pushy on the ground. He's pushy in the saddle. And I've had him here about a week, and I didn't do an evaluation video because just having somebody here to make videos for me. We've been working him over the last week. Good bit of work on the ground, good bit of work on the saddle, good bit of time standing tied. When you have a horse that's pushy, it's a respect issue. But when I look a little deeper into the horse itself that's pushy, a lot of times the horse is a dominant horse, or the horse is, I always use the word recessive, but that's not the right word, a recessive horse. And which one you have, I work them a little bit different. Jess out there, she's a pushy horse, but she's more of a recessive horse. He's a pushy horse, but he's more of a dominant horse. He's pushy. He's trying to push you, dominate the handler. He's a little bit hard to catch, and just kind of, I want things my way kind of horse. Very confident horse. And horse like that, once you get all that pushy under control, they will give you their heart. They give you everything that they have. Now, Jess out there, I haven't done any videos of her either. She has basically a similar issue. She's pushy, she's buddy sour, but she is a recessive horse. She's scared, and she's pushy with you, but she's pushy with you because she wants to go somewhere else to where she thinks that horse or that person is going to be a more confident leader. So she's kind of testing your leadership to see how good you are, pushing you away to go somewhere else. He is very confident. He's the kind of horse that you need to earn his leadership, earn his confidence in the beginning. And been standing here a minute. I got on him just a few minutes before we started the video. And what I want to do with him is we're going to walk the circles, just like you see me walking circles every time when I start a horse. I have my low port leverage bit on him. A couple of reasons there. That gives me just a little bit more leverage to get his head around, but it also gets him to round his neck and break at the pole and lift the shoulders, just like you see me do in all the other videos where I'm transitioning to the leverage bit. It's not more bit for more bite. It's more bit, different bit for roundness, because when I get the horse's body round, get the shoulders up, get the back up, get the hind end engaged, then I have better control of the horse. So let's walk a few circles. Take my left rein. Now I'm just going to ask him to walk forward. A little bit of leg, just a little squeezes with my calves here and there. I'm going to keep his head to the side. As we're walking, watch his ears. Watch his roundness of his neck, his back. Watch how high or low his ears are and also watch his tempo. When his head gets high, his rhythm gets bad. When his head softens down, his rhythm gets better. I'm going to use my hand lifting a little bit to encourage that neck to round and to break its pole. I'm also going to add a little bit of inside leg. Let's go forward. Inside leg. So we're bending to the left. That's going to be left leg to encourage bend. Bend in the body. I don't just want bend in the neck. I also want bend through the whole body. He gets straight. There we go. See, I'm tapping my legs, rounding his neck. Let's go forward. He gets straight through the body. Then he has all the leverage to brace against me and take me where he wants to go. Go back forward again. Turned around to bite at my leg. Gave him a bump with my right rein. Go forward again. Forward. See his brain thinking. He knows I'm taking his leverage away. He knows that he can't just pull me over there. But he hasn't quite given in yet. He hasn't made the decision, okay, I'll accept you as my leader. Left leg, left rein. Let's go forward. Go forward. No, he's pooping, but I'm not going to stop asking. He gets soft, I'm going to get soft. When I was bridling him, it was interesting. He put his head down. He's obviously, he can get his head high. I think he's a saddlebred. I'm not sure. I think that's what he is. Obviously, he can get his head up high when you're bridling him. When I bridled him today, he got his head down, nice and easy. Now I'm going to get a hold of his head, go forward. Forward. I got to have forward. Got to have forward. Got to have that engagement. And he put his head down in a real nice place for me to put the bridle on. And I was able to get it close to position. But when I put it like where his teeth meet, he started going up and down with his teeth so that I couldn't put it between his teeth. So a different game than lifting the head. He put it down, but he still went up and down with his teeth. Let's go forward. Went up and down with his teeth so that he didn't have to take the bit. Just a different game, different trick. Let's go forward. Go forward. We got to have forward. Okay. What's the question? Yeah, they ask him what breed. I think he's a saddlebred. I'm not positive. I think that's what he is. It's what he looks like. I'm sure the owner told me, but I don't remember. How tall is he? I have not measured him. He's pretty tall. I would think somewhere 16'1", something in that range. I have not measured him, but I think he's probably around 16'1", maybe 16'2". I don't think he's 17, but he's pretty tall. And he's built like a typical saddlebred. He's tall, but he doesn't have that much of a body. It's kind of funny. So I have this saddle, and I have 28-inch girth on him. So this is the same saddle and the same girth that I put on. Let's see, who would I put this on that you would know? Let's see. Legend. If you've seen Legend and you've seen him, this is the same saddle and girth, and he is. When he came, he was probably barely 14 hands. He's well over 14 now because he's grown. And a lot of people look at the height of the horse more than the physical. Let's go forward again. More than the physical mass of the horse. He is tall, but he really doesn't have that much physical mass. As far as physical mass, Legend is bigger. Probably most of the horses here or have a bigger physical mass than him. And okay. Okay, so they brought in a trainer, and the trainer is not tiptoeing around the horse like they have. The purpose of bringing in the trainer was to get the horse back going after 2 years off. Now they were considering or did fire the trainer because they felt like the horse was getting worse and not better. So that is a situation where I think the trainer was doing the right thing. You watch me, I never tiptoe around a horse. I'm not going to be aggressive, overly quick, but no matter what's going on, I don't tiptoe around the horse. If you do, you always will have to. And what you were seeing when that horse was getting aggressive towards the trainer, that is the problem that you created by tiptoeing around the horse. And he didn't create that problem. He brought that problem out by treating him like a horse, which is how he needs to be treated. So if I were you, I would keep letting that trainer work that horse, because when he gets done, you're going to have a horse that you don't have to tiptoe around. You shouldn't have to tiptoe around a horse. He's aggressive. That horse is aggressive to the trainer. That horse would be aggressive to you in the right situation. That was just a problem waiting to happen. Now, if he's overly aggressive with the horse, that's a different situation. You said he don't tiptoe around the horse. So you have to kind of judge that. Is he just handling the horse like a horse should be handled, or is he overly rough with the horse? So that's the call you have to make. If he's just handling the horse like a horse should be handled, then he needs to keep going. Any other questions so far? Okay. Okay. What? Tell me where people are watching from. So we got California, Montana, Texas, Michigan, Florida, Australia. I made a post on Facebook a while back, and I think Fort Worth was my most the city with this is as far as Facebook. Fort Worth it was the city with my most viewers, and I think Sydney, Australia was second, if I remember right. Phoenix, Minnesota, and Canada. Thanks for watching. Sebastian says it's raining. Well, I'm sorry, Sebastian. When you come visit this spring, I promise you it won't be cold. We might be getting some rain a day or two, but it won't be cold. See, right there, he's getting his head up. I'm going to get his head to the side, but I'm going to keep asking forward. It's important there. Get his head to the side, but I keep saying forward. Keep bumping forward. As I'm pulling the reins, I'm bumping forward because I have to have that forward. There we go. See, that forward is what rounds his body, breaks that brace, gets us back in underneath him. That's what really fixes the problem. Let's go forward again and go forward. You saw him get his head up and get stiff. Let's go forward. Yeah, Sebastian says he's looking forward to the heat. I hope he still says that when he gets here. He's coming in June, I think it is. Is it June or May? June, yeah. Have you looked to see what our Mississippi weather's like in June, Sebastian? All right. He's kind of balking on me, not wanting to give me forward. I'm going to go back to the circles, break that brace loose, and send him forward. This is where a lot of people mess up with this kind of horse. When I first started working with him, he would get stiff and just take me places. He wouldn't run off with me at like a gallop, but he would run off with me at a walk. Just say, hey, I'm getting stiff and we're going over here. Every time he gets bracy, I'm going to put leg on him. I might bump, I might push, but I'm going to break loose that stiffness in his body. Now, let's go ahead and advance that a little more. Let's start working some bend, counter bend exercises. Same exercises you see me work before. Got to have some forward. Now let's add some left rein, left leg. Push the shoulders over. Get a little bit of leg yield. He's pushing in and out. Now I'm going to release, go forward. What you're going to see with his head, while he's pushing against my leg, his head's going to go up. His left shoulder is going to go down. There, that was a nice step over, and just see where his head was. So the head, I'm talking about the head a lot, but the head is just kind of a visual indicator of what the rest of the body is doing. That's where a lot of people mess up. They start working their hands to get the head down. The head is just kind of a visual indicator. It's the body that matters. Let's left rein, left leg. Let's go forward again. I know you're pooping again, but it don't matter. We're going to go forward. I think he pooped twice in the wash rack when I was saddling him up. Left rein, left leg again. There. He got soft, I released. His shoulders went over. He got soft in the pole. Now, as I keep working this, what's going to happen, every time I put leg on, he's going to round his back and break at the pole and start to collect up. And the brace is going to go away. The pushiness is going to go away. Let's go forward. See him, he's just kind of bowing up, wanting to say, I don't want to do that. Let's go forward. Let's work some right rein, right leg. And all this right here, I don't have to escalate this into going faster. I don't have to get hard with him. I just have to break his train of thought. And when I ask for something, I release it when he doesn't. Now let's go forward. Now see, he's trying to get behind the bit now. Trying another trick. This horse has learned a lot of tricks. Right rein, right leg. You're right there. He's stuck. He pushed his right shoulder into my leg and yielded his hip around. I'm still pushing with my right leg. Let's go with the left leg for a little bit of forward. He's trying to pull rein out of my hand. Get a little bit more aggressive. And keep asking, Ty. His feet move. There. Now I release. Notice I didn't release as soon as his feet moved. I released when he gave to my leg. Any more questions? Yeah, I would definitely have that trainer keep doing what he's doing. Everything that horse is doing was already in there. That trainer did not put that in there. He's bringing it out, and in bringing it out, he's going to be able to work on it. So you are. It sounds to me like the trainer is doing what needs to be done. Okay. Okay, so when I say leg, it could be the shoulder, it could be the rib cage, or it could be the hip, depending on the part of the body that I want to move. If I'm wanting to move the rib cage, it's going to be in the middle. If I'm wanting to move the shoulder, it's going to be to the front. Let's go forward. If I'm wanting to move the hip, it's going to be back. So in the beginning with this horse, he was trying to take me places. And I took that away. Now he's trying to balk. This is just more games, working through the process. Any other questions? All right. Lots of viewers all over. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you viewing. Right. There we go. Now, right there, right rein, right leg. I just kind of closed my fingers and he walked off. That's what I'm looking for. Now he's kind of going over to the camera. Let's get past that. He's trying to go over there. Let's keep going forward, both legs, and get soft. So when he starts moving, I'm not going to totally take the pressure away, but I will get soft with my pressure. I'm going to keep riding. Let's go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward. There we go. Now I'm riding. I don't have any spur on him. I do have my calves up against him. Now I'm going to add a little bit of right leg up front by the girth for that left turn. Let's go forward. There you go. He's getting mad at me, starting to grunt. Let's go forward, forward. There we go. Now, if I was to escalate here, if I was to start kicking harder, whipping harder, I expect this horse would probably escalate right there with me. I'm not going to escalate and try to win a bigger fight. I'm going to win all these little battles. If I win all these little battles, I'm going to win in the end. Forward, left rein, left leg. There, get soft. A little bit of both legs, both legs, both legs. Any more questions?
Yes, sir. Sebastian's asking if you can talk a little bit about using spurs with a horse like this. I think a lot of people are very nervous to use that.
Yeah, good point, Sebastian. So spurs, a lot of people are nervous to use spurs. They don't want to be bumping the horse when they don't mean to. They don't want to be cutting on the horse. This is a blunt rowel that I have on. And I use leg, which my spurs are an extension of my leg, to move the horse's body. It's never to go faster. It's always, it might be move forward, but it's move. It could be move laterally, it could be forward, it could be backwards. Legs always mean move. And I am going to use the spur as an extension of my heel. For one, if I'm using just my bare heel, I'm going to end up using so much muscle, I'm going to wear myself out before I get done with the horse what needs to be done. And I'm not going to go to spur first. I'm going to go to calf and then spur. And as soon as I get the movement, I'll soften that spur. And I'll use quite a few touches. I touch the horse with my calf a lot. I'll touch the horse with my spur a lot. But all those little touches are little communications. They're not, the spur isn't just riding on him like dead weight. That's what creates a dull horse. You communicate, you touch with the spur, you release, you touch, the horse does something, you release, then the horse is communicating, you're communicating with the horse with your spur, just like you are with your reins or your legs, and the horse does not get dull to it. Any other questions? Okay. So I'm walking him forward. I did a video that I posted on Patreon where I talk about every horse kind of has a couple of themes. If you ever watch a movie, there's always kind of the big plot. I guess plot is a better word than theme. There's a big plot in the movie. This thing in the whole movie working towards this plot. And inside the movie, there's always several little plots, like maybe between two different people in the movie or just various smaller plots inside that big plot. Well, when I work a horse, it's similar. We have several plots going on. The big plot or the big theme is to teach the horse to be a better partner trail riding. Be nicer on the ground, be nicer in the saddle. That's the big plot. That's our end goal. That's what we want for him. And then in between, we're going to have a smaller plot. And that plot is, what part do I want to work on today? Am I working on steering? Am I working on go? Am I working on stop? And all of those things is the little plot, the little piece that gets me closer to the big plot. I'll get your question in just a second. And then inside that middle plot is an even smaller plot, and that is, what am I doing in the moment? If the horse is pushing its shoulder, I'm pushing its back, pushing it back, pushing it back in place, getting around. Might be getting around to the right, getting around to the left. That's a smaller plot inside the bigger plot of what I want to work on that day, which is inside the even bigger plot of what our ultimate goal is for that horse. Question?
Yes, sir. This Kathy's asking, does the horse blowing out mean anything? They hear a lot of trainers commenting about this.
Okay, does the horse blowing out mean anything? It can. It can mean a release. Uh, he was blowing out. He was kind of grunting. He wasn't really releasing. He was more complaining, like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." So it can, but it can mean different things. You have to look at that blowing out or that noise in the whole picture of what's going on to kind of really interpret what it means at that moment with that horse. Steer over here, a little bit of right rein, left leg. Now let's keep going forward. Right rein, right leg, or left leg. Let's keep going forward. I want to try to get a little bit better forward. Basically, I'm just walking big circles, little touches with the reins, little touches with my leg to try to maintain that forward. If he goes forward, if he does what I ask him to do, I'm going to release. If he braces against my hand, if he braces against my leg, I'm going to work on loosening up that brace at that moment. One little piece at a time, one step at a time. Another question?
Yes, sir. Got two more. Catherine's asking, do you use a different bit for trail riding versus arena work?
Okay, do I use a different bit for trail riding versus arena work? I use the whichever bit the horse needs at that time for what I'm doing. Different bits help me do different things with the horse's body. You see me using this bit a lot because this starts the body control. So that's why I use this bit. I can trail ride and take this bit and play with body control. I can use a different bit and just kind of be soft on his face. It really depends on what I'm wanting to accomplish at that time. And let's say you have a horse like him, and let's say he's better, but he still has some things that needs to be worked on. But we're comfortable taking him on a trail ride. I'm going to put the bit on him that gives me the tool that I need to work whatever his weakness is. If it shows up when we're trail riding, I want the tool to fix that. So just because I'm trail riding, I'm not going to swap to a hackamore or boselle or snaffle bit just because I'm going on a trail ride. I'm going to use, now I've got to go forward. You're not going to see that horse. That's why he's wanting to stop. That horse is there smelling at the bucket. He wants to go check the bucket. Another question?
Yes, sir. We had somebody saying, good morning from Taylor, Utah. They were asking, are you going to watch Road to the Horse next month? I just looked it up. It's a 2026 event, Junior World Championships. The horse is already coming up.
Okay, so they're asking, am I going to watch Road to the Horse? So I might watch some. I watched some of it last year. I like watching the wild card competition best. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of Road to the Horse. Uh, the people that work the horses are great. They do a good job. They get good contestants. And the person that wins isn't necessarily the best trainer there because it all depends on the horse that he has that he's working with. And so it's good for getting these trainers' names out there, especially the wild card where it's trainers that you know less of. But generally, they're working horses over a period of a couple days, the amount that it should take a couple weeks. Let's go forward again. And I'm not too crazy about that. I have worked some horses that have been to those starting competitions, and I worked them after the competition, and they were more of a problem than they would have been or than what they were when they originally started. because they were pushed too much too quick, and their minds really didn't get to soak in those things. Just because you see a horse go do the freestyle competition and go do those things really doesn't mean that that's trained in that horse. It just means that they got that horse to do that at that time on that day. So I might watch some of the wild card, but overall, I'm not a huge fan of that. Now there's a competition coming up in Jackson, Mississippi in May, and it is put on by a horse rescue, and it is different trainers that got different horses from the horse rescue and doing a competition to see what they get done with those horses. It's not going to be probably as quite an even playing field because Road to the Horse starts with all unbroken horses. These horses that come from the rescue, they might have had riding before, they might have had training before, so it's not quite as even of a starting playing field. But I think the horsemanship there in what they're doing is a little bit better for the horse. So that's in May in Jackson, and I'm actually going to be one of the judges for that competition. Another question? Okay, so a minute ago, he kind of bogged down over here, bogging down right here. I'm just encouraging him forward with my legs, pushing with my spurs. I'll roll my spur a little bit once in a while just to give him a little bit of a feeling. I'm not really escalating. I'm just asking him to do something so that I can release the pressure. Nothing huge, just move forward and I'll release the pressure. He's not like trying to get bracy and run off with me anymore or take me someplace. Not as bad. He tried to take me to that bucket. But now he's just kind of generally complaining that he's not getting to do what he wants to do. So we're just going to work through that. Work through that to build a little bit of desire to do what's asked. And I'm going to build that by releasing the pressure when he does what I ask. Shouldering out that way, so a little bit of left leg. See how nice he came around? He knows, he's learned the leg cues now. He knows what they mean. Physically, I just need a little bit better brain to respond and give it to me. There we go. That's some right leg. There. See how much better it's coming? That's the desire to please that's coming in. And you notice I'm making a lot of progress with him just in this one ride by not escalating. Oh, he's kind of bogging down. Let's right rein left leg. Ask for forward and release. And just winning those little battles. Right there, he stopped. I gave him a little rub with both legs. A little rub with both spurs. If you can, kind of watch my spurs. I'm touching, and then I'm kind of rubbing just a little bit. Another question? Okay, I don't really know what his original training background is. All I know is the conversation I had with the owner about him being pushy. I don't think she has owned him a really long time. I'm not positive. I talk to so many people about horses that I can't keep it all in my head. I've got in my computer in there, I have everything wrote down. I can't remember off the top of my head what his previous training was. Okay. Okay. Catherine's asking when is my first show that I'm riding in? We have a Louisiana stock horse show in March. Uh, I don't know if I'm showing there or not. I might take Bug. I don't know. There's also some Mississippi ranch horse shows coming up, and I'm not really sure which one I'm going to show in first. I want to do more National Reining Cow Horse Association shows this year and more National Reining Horse Association shows, but I really haven't even looked at the schedule and decided, okay, I'm going to this particular one. The Mississippi ranch horse shows that I'd like to go to, they conflict with a lot of my clinics, so I'm probably not going to make as many of those shows as I'd like to. So it just kind of comes down to when I have a weekend available and seeing where I can go on that weekend. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. Sebastian added that he has a hard time deciding which fight to have and which to save for later.
That's a good point, Sebastian. He has a hard time deciding which fight to address now and which one to save for later. And I think that probably comes with just more training experience. Uh, when I was a younger trainer, I got into a lot of fights that weren't necessary. And as I worked more horses and kind of saw how different horses progress. Like in the beginning, when I said this horse is pushy because he's dominant, and Jess out there is pushy because she's recessive. They're pushy for different reasons, so they're going to progress a little bit different. So with working more horses, I kind of get an idea of how they're going to progress and which fights I want to pick. That's kind of like the mounting block. When I've talked about that one a lot, I don't work on the mounting block issue until my riding issues are done, because most of the time when the riding issues are fixed, the mounting block issue goes away. You got another one?
Yes, sir. We've got three more. We're doing good today.
Okay, good deal. Three more questions.
So somebody's following up with Sebastian saying, how hard do you scold them when you need to in those moments?
Okay, how hard do you scold them when you need to? It really depends on what's going on. I have scolded him a lot in this ride that you watched me, but none of it was really hard. It really depends on what the horse is doing. I am immediately going to scold pretty hard when the horse is doing something that's putting me in danger. Remember, the first rule of horse training is I don't get hurt. Second rule is the horse don't get hurt. Third rule is one of us has to learn something. Well, if the horse is doing something that's putting me in danger, like running over me on the ground, I'm going to scold that pretty hard, pretty quick. But every time I go to, as I'm walking around, I'm asked, tell, demand. Ask nice, tell firmer, demand, which is as hard as it takes to get the horse to do what I'm asking the horse to do. So I went to demand one time with this horse in this session, but I went to tell a bunch of times in this session. So how hard you respond depends on the situation that you're in with the horse, how dangerous it is, and also just kind of how the horse is. So how hard is going to depend. I did a video on the paint. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Bandit. Yeah, I did a video on Bandit. I got really hard really quick with him because he was doing things that was putting me in danger. Now he's not putting me in danger near as bad. I'm not getting as hard. I'm not getting as hard with him. I'm just saying, let's do this thing. And when he don't do it, I go to tell. And that's really how you should be escalating. You don't just go from 0 to 100 just because you feel like you need to. There needs to be an actual reason behind it. Another question?
Follow up for that is Cassie's saying, I love that you don't escalate and his head is coming down. At what point do you decide to stop the session?
Okay, so she likes that I don't escalate and that his head is coming down. At what point do I stop the session? I probably would have stopped the session maybe 10 minutes ago. You saw he got pretty nice, and I stood for a minute. And then when I walked off, I had to get on to him pretty hard over here. Well, when I got on to him pretty hard over here, that told me I should have stopped before, which is when I normally would have stopped. Um, so I'm going to stop when I have improvement. He's improved a lot, and he's getting to the point where he's kind of complaining a little bit because, and I think he has a right to. But for the live, I'm working him longer than what I would.
And then when is your first show that you're riding in?
So the first show I'm riding in with Cow Horse, I don't remember. I haven't looked at the schedule. I think it's in May, but I don't remember the dates off the top of my head.
Do you ever show in Texas?
She's asking, do I ever show in Texas? There's an NRHA club that I'm thinking about going to this year in Marshall, Texas. And if I go there, I'll be going there. I've shown in Fort Worth and Waco and a lot of other places over the years. Um, Oklahoma City. I've shown in all of those big shows, but now I enjoy doing the smaller weekend shows. Any other questions?
No, sir. I'm gonna ask them if they want to drop some suggestions for our next video.
Yeah, great idea. Ask them to click the like button too. Where? Oh yeah, I've got 2 clinics coming up in Texas. One is in Seguin. Where's the other one? You remember? I don't remember. I don't remember. But I do have 2 clinics coming up in Texas. I have a clinic in Massachusetts, one in North Carolina, Virginia. I think those come off the top of my head. I have already posted my clinic schedule a couple of times, but it's been a little while since I posted. I do need to post it again. I'm also going to Germany this year and Switzerland. Really looking forward to Switzerland. Haven't been there before, so excited about that one. See now, right now he's kind of fidgety. Looking around, he's not being too bad. A minute ago, he looked around and turned and focused really hard over there. Right now, he's just kind of fidgety. This is just kind of an immature brain. Not particularly doing anything bad. I'm not really doing anything about it. Just sitting here. The work that I'm doing is going to kind of push his brain to mature a little bit. Some horses you have to kind of help them mature. And I think he needs a little bit of help maturing, and a lot of it, and just maturing and doing what he's asked to do. And I'm pleased with how he's progressing. He's doing good. Just got to keep doing more of this. How's our time? Quarter till. I think we're at a good place to stop. We're at a good place for him to stop. I would have actually stopped earlier, like I said a minute ago. I appreciate everybody for joining in. I appreciate all of the great comments and questions and interactions and everybody from all over the world watching. And if you have a horse and you'd like to send it to me for training, message me and we'll talk about it. I've got some openings coming up um, going into next month, and we'll talk about getting a horse in for training and help you out with him. So until next time, thank you for watching.